Hi, everyone. Heather here with PersephoneReturns.com. And I am here with your forecast for Wednesday, October 11th, 2017. And so today we're coming into some pretty intense energy as we come off of some pretty intense energy as well. So over the past couple of days, we've been under this influence of this conjunction between Mercury and the Sun, and it's square to Pluto. And Mercury is starting to finally come away from, Pluto and from the Sun, and the Sun is, a degree or two away from Pluto now. So we're still within the orb of that really intense energy. There's a lot of really intense energy around communication, around our thoughts, around, things being revealed that are hidden under the surface. There could be just a lot of communication coming through right now, and the communication that comes through could be really intense. There could be blockages to communication based on our own fears or our own sort of inability to come into our own power and to express ourselves clearly. So that's something that's going on right now as well. But we're coming out of that energy. And so that's going to actually start to feel like a relief, especially if you are somebody who has a lot of energy at the middle degrees of the cardinal signs. So especially for those who are, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you guys are going to be feeling this transit the most. Cancer, obviously, as well, and also Aries people. So, that's starting to sort of go away. We also just had Jupiter go into Scorpio, which is expanding on intense emotional experiences. It's expanding on things that are dark and hidden and, kept below the surface. And that's going to be going on for a little over a year, for 13 months. So we just had that shift happen yesterday. So this is kind of a major turning point, a major transition point in the energy overall for, all of us in the collective. And so we're going to be diving deeper into these sort of dark areas, but we're going to be doing it in a way that it feels comfortable and that feels easy. So we're going to be able to explore the darkness a little bit more easily. We're going to be able to explore topics that are really deep and really intense a lot more easily. And if you go back to my video from yesterday, I expand on that a little bit more. So, and I also have a lot of different other videos about Jupiter and Scorpio on Astrolada's YouTube channel. And I also wrote an article about that on my website, which is PersephoneReturns.com. So if you haven't already read that, it goes through by sign, especially rising sign, so that way you can figure out exactly what's coming up for you and where you can benefit from this Jupiter in Scorpio transit, which is highly beneficial for the most part. And then the other thing, so what's happening today is actually Mars, which is coming out of its conjunction with Venus that came exact last week. It's actually coming into a square exact with Saturn. And so this is a really tense, really frustrating, really heavy energy, because these are the two malefic planets in traditional astrology. And so when you have Mars come into a square with Saturn like that, it indicates that there's a blockage toward our willpower, toward our ambition, toward our ability to act and move through this world. And especially in Virgo, it has to do with our ability to act on our thoughts, act on our plans, act on the things that we sort of hashed out in our minds. And a lot of this can be, some sort of barrier or some sort of blockage or some sort of resistance to something new that we started in partnership with somebody else, because this is, the Mars conjunction to Venus. And so this has to do with new beginnings in partnership and in collaboration and in relationships. This could also be new beginnings in terms of our plans for our finances, our budget, right? Especially in Virgo. Venus in Virgo is all about budgeting. So we have a few more days of that. So if you haven't already sort of gotten your affairs in order in terms of your finances, this is a really awesome time to do that. But we really need to make sure that whatever plans we're making, whatever it is that we're initiating, we're in it for the long haul and that we're doing it correctly. And so Saturn today is going to be providing some sort of resistance, some sort of limitation toward our ability to take action. And if this happens, if you come up against these blockages, really what this serves to do is to show you where you need to slow down, rein it in, take a step back, and start to do things the right way. So Saturn requires that we don't do things the fast way, we do things the right way. And it takes a lot longer than we really anticipate it. So if you started something new within the past week, sort of building on that and initiating that and creating what it is that you're trying to create is going to take a lot longer than what you thought. And so Saturn right now is showing us that. So it's showing us what steps we need to take in order to take the action that we need to take in order to do the things that we want to do, in order to act on our willpower. And so this is going to be a little bit of a frustration, a lot of a frustration actually for a lot of people, because Mars wants to just move forward and just jump in and do things. That's what Mars is. It's impulsivity, it's action, it's just jumping in, it's doing it. Although in Virgo, Mars tends to think things through a little bit more, so it's not quite as impulsive of an energy, but it's still there, it's Mars. And so we're going to be coming into blockages today, and the people that are going to be feeling this energy the most are going to be the people that have a lot of energy in the mutable signs. And so especially if you have planets anywhere around 22 degrees in Virgo or in Sagittarius, those are going to be the ones that are going to be feeling it the most. But also if you have your sun, moon, rising in Pisces or in Gemini, those are also going to be, feeling this a little bit more heavily than other people. And it's going to feel a lot like limitation and restriction. And it's a really frustrated energy, like really wanting to do something and you just can't quite get it to happen. But this is it's a short-term transit. Mars moves pretty quickly, so you're probably already feeling it a couple of days prior to today, and you're going to be feeling it for a couple more days after today as well. So, just look at the signs, pay attention to what Saturn's calling on you to take your time with and to do correctly, and just take it day by day. Saturn requires that we take things day by day, step by step. So little by little, we make sustained efforts on a daily basis, just small things every day. And, these actions, these efforts add up to create the bigger picture. And so that's what we're really working on right now, is taking those small steps, those little movements in order to create the bigger picture to fulfill our long-term goals and plans. And, so yeah, that's a lot of what's going on right now. The other thing is the moon is still actually transiting the sign of Cancer. And for the most part, it's making really beneficial aspects. It's actually going to be trining Neptune today. So Neptune in Pisces. And so this is a really beautiful energy where we can, really develop our intuition, where we can intuit things beyond the veil, where our emotions become deeper and more compassionate, more loving, more connected, where we can feel more emotionally connected to those around us. And this is going to beneficially influence people who have Cancer, sun, moon, and rising, Scorpio, or Pisces, sun, moon, and rising as well. These are the people that are going to benefit from this energy the most. And it's just a fleeting energy. It's for a few hours during the day today, but really, you're going to be able to feel it for most of the day. And so on an emotional level, even though we're going through these difficult transits that are more external and more have to do with physicality and action, because Saturn is a planet of physicality. It's, it bridges the gap between the physical and the non-physical. It creates our physical reality. It creates the structure of our physical reality. And Mars is very much about physicality as well. It's action, right? So we have this really physical tension and frustration going on. Below the surface, when it comes to our emotions, the way that we're subjectively perceiving things, the way that we're going about intuiting things throughout the day-to-day, on a collective level, that's a little bit easier. So if you're not sure what action to take, or if you feel really frustrated and you don't know what to do next, you don't know how to utilize this energy, going inward, focusing on your emotions, focusing on how you feel about it, and focusing on your intuition is going to serve you a lot, especially if you have your sun, moon, and rising in one of these water signs. So overall, right now, this is a great day for people who have energy in the water signs, a little bit harder for cardinal and mutable signs specifically. So just kind of be aware of that. And I hope that you found this helpful. I will be back tomorrow with the forecast for Thursday. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.